All right, welcome everybody to 141 Speedway for round number 3 here. King of the Elements, this is Chaos at the Creek. My name is Dave Derringer along with Shane Stetsny in the house, and we are getting ready for our first race of the day. It's going to be side by, where did I go with that? Sportsman side by side, excuse me. So we're getting ready for that, and let's talk a little about the track, Shane. This is obviously an oval, but we've turned it into 2 horseshoes pretty much, and it's going to be slippery, it's going to be dry. We got some jumps out there, and there's going to be some banging. What do you think?
Yeah, very tight, very technical. You have to limit your mistakes as a driver to be successful here. We're going to see Blue Groove develop, which really excites me because that throws a wrench into the best laid plans of any race car driver, especially drivers here in an off-road discipline that aren't used to that Blue Groove, or at least not on this level here on a clay oval.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun one. We got our first race. We're going to have the sportsman class, followed by the 570s. Then we'll get into the pro stocks, side-by-side mini, pro mod, and then these are, keep in mind, these are all heat races. We'll have a little intermission, and then we'll get into our main event. So getting ready to go here. Welcome everybody on YouTube. Check out the Side-by-Side Sports Racing YouTube channel, Facebook, and everyone out there. Please share it. And show your friends that we are live racing here in northern Wisconsin at 141 Speedway. So on that note, Shane, I will ask everyone to stand and please take off your hats for the singing of our national anthem. All right, so we're getting ready. Our first race of the night, heat race, will be our sportsman side-by-side. Let's go through the running, shall we, Shane? Go for it.
Absolutely. Starting on the pole here for our first of 2 heats of sportsman side-by-side will be Riley Marquardt in the number 90. Alongside him will be the 17 of Stacy Boucher. 58 is Matt Borschinger. 30 is Tracy Wassenberg. The number 22 is Season Bennett. Number 43 is Tyler Remeride, coming all the way from Nebraska to race with us. 21 is Caden Piontek. 74 is Josh Skeideman. 94 is Jake Kosmecki. 73 is Tricky Nicky Fisher. The number 17X is Seth Lockstein. 57 is Cody Jones. 20 is Tim Shore. 99 is Caleb Griesbach. And 19 is Dylan Parsons.
All right, so 15 drivers in this first heat out of 2 heats. Cole is climbing up the tower. They're getting ready to throw the green flag. We thank everybody for coming out. A good crowd already here at 4 o'clock p.m. here at 141 Speedway in Maribel, Wisconsin, and we are getting ready to go with our first heat. All right, what are you looking for? What are you keeping an eye on? What do you think?
Well, this Le Mans style start is something that a lot of these drivers, unless they raced here last year, are not familiar with whatsoever, so we'll see how cleanly they can get down into turn 1. Another thing I'm looking for is some of the more notable, faster drivers are shuffled a little bit back on this starting grid. I'm looking at Dylan Parsons all the way back there dead last. He's picked up a couple wins this season in Champ Off-Road, so I'm looking for him to maybe make some noise early, be really aggressive, and try to push his way to the front. Remember, the top 10 will advance directly into that main later on this evening.
I like it. I like it. Also, I'm keeping an eye on Jake Kosmecki. Riley Marquardt's up at the front there, so got a chance to do some damage there too. Cole is talking to our communications and making sure he is ready to go. All right, 141 Speedway fans, I see you in attendance. We appreciate you guys all coming out. Are you guys ready for some racing? Oh yeah. We want some interaction with you guys today as well, and we are live on YouTube, Facebook, and all the channels. I think we're getting ready to go.
If you can't find side-by-side sports online, you're not looking very hard, because we're on as many platforms as we can possibly be.
And please share that link if you can too, so we can get it out to as many places as possible. All right, the white flag is up in the air. We're getting ready to go. There's green. Oh, the 17 had a terrible start. Stacy Boucher, did you see that?
Yeah, falls all the way back to mid-pack. We got a couple more tangled up down there. That's Skydeman and the number 17 of Seth Lockstein tangled, and they're going to be parked down there. Looks like trouble for the 57 of Cody Jones as well.
Yeah, someone
all
hit
kinds of stack-ups going on. Looks like Nicole Fisher might have lost power for a moment there, but Riley Marquardt from that pole position is going to be out front here in the early going.
Borschinger has rolled into second. We got a red flag on this one, Shane. A couple, one car hit the block there, the cement block. That had to do some damage, and the other car is stuck on top of it. So I don't know if we'll get a shot of that or not, but not good already. First heat race, red flag, first lap. So we'll get them re-racked, and we'll start this one. Oh, we got someone upside down here on the left, Shane. I just kind of, that pole was hiding him. Who is that?
That is the 22 of Season Bennett, so that's not a great start to the Chaos at the Creek event for her whatsoever.
That is some chaos for sure. So we got some work to do here, and that's going to be a minute or two. So
situations at both ends of the race course bringing out the red flag. Here at 141 Speedway, that's Lockstein and Skydeman tangled up down there in that turn 1, turn 2 area of the oval. See Cody Jones, the number 57, on the hook as well. Jones is somebody I expected to do really well here. Comes from Green Bay, racing with us here in Side-by-Side Sports. Looks like we're about ready to get our field rolling once again, though.
Well, half a lap in and a bunch of damage in this one already.
You know, maybe we set ourselves up for that, naming the event Chaos at the Creek, but that's maybe a little bit more chaos than we wanted to see on lap 1 of Heat 1.
True. I think we're going to see a lot of that, Shane. It is a slippery, dry. They have been watering this thing all day long. It's very similar to last year, the weather. A little bit warmer day here in mid to late September, and it's going to create a challenge on this track for sure. These guys don't drive this type of stuff every day.
Yeah, and one of the other elements that racing on such a tight track creates is that you have to be aggressive. There's not a ton of room to pass. You know, there's not 3 lanes to pick from. It's everybody kind of jockeying for one spot on the track. So we're going to see some aggressive driving. That's going to lead to tangles like we see down there with Lockstein and Skydeman.
So I was asking a couple drivers, is there passing lanes? Is there multiple lines? Because you really only see one dry line. So where do you think we're going to see the most passes and most aggression? Through this little rhythm section, through the stutters, on the outside of these corners? Where would you, as a driver, try to pick a spot to pass?
I think the section between the 2 hairpins on the backstretch, so the whole, I guess what you call the infield section, there's jumps down there, and I guess what would be 2, 3, turn 4. There's a couple finger jumps that are only on the inside lane of the race course, so that's going to create a line choice there. How aggressive do you want to be running over those jumps on the inside? And really between those 2 hairpins on the backstretch, again, I'm going to say this a lot tonight, but limiting mistakes.
Yeah.
You have to put those corners together well, because you get yourself a little out of rhythm entering the infield, and it's going to cost you 2-3 seconds by the time you get back out into the stock car turn 3 area.
Good point. It is going to be interesting. Well, we're going to have to rack these guys up, make sure the cars in turn 1 are good to go. And we have not got another one on the tow truck down there. So we will see what, get them fixed up and line back up. And give us a few minutes, and we'll be back with you in just a few minutes. All right, we're back and getting ready for our heat race. We're going to restart this one, Shane. A little chaos in the first lap of our first heat race of the day, our sportsman, and that one got a little crazy. You think we can get this one rocking and rolling here?
Well, now that they're going to a rolling restart, I think we'll have a fighting chance there. I did see that two of the drivers involved in the tangle-up, Lockstein and Scheidemann, both able to fall in line there. Unfortunately, Cody Jones will be done until that B main a little bit later on this afternoon.
Yeah, bummer for Cody. And like you said, they're doing that rolling start, so we'll just take them through this back section here. We'll kind of cut through turn 2 and 3 really on the oval. Is that CJ in the pace car? All right, Cole has got the flag in his hand. Watch the flagger. Here we go, Shane. They are getting ready to go.
Green flag is out. Riley Marquardt again with a great start on this restart. He's going to bring Borschinger and Wassenberg along with him. Boucher going way to the outside. Maybe we will see a high groove get worn in, at least through the stock car sections of the course.
Yeah, but then that high groove on that next turn is a difficult one to get in. One car spun around.
Yeah,
so.
Scheidemann having some issues there. 73 car, I believe, has a flat right rear tire as well, so trouble for Nicole Fisher.
It's not changing.
Yeah, I know. That's not going to fix it. I'm going to go fix it right now. That's not production.
But up front, Riley Marquardt, Matt Borschinger, and Season Bennett up into the top three has gotten around Tracy Wassenberg. And they will tick off one complete lap here, so one lap in the books. 9 laps remaining here in Heat 1 of Sportsman side-by-side.
Bennett on the inside, Season Bennett, and Wassenberg on the 30 trying to make a move. Bennett, we saw upside down, so back up to third. Not a bad move there, huh?
Yeah, redemption story. She got a really nice start on that rolling restart. Made the outside line work her first time through corners 1 and 2.
Look how dry this course is already, Shane, and they have been watering, like I said, all day. Oh, one car upside down.
That looks like the 17. Want to say that's Stacy Boucher. We have two 17 cars out there in this race.
Red's coming out, Shane. Red
yeah, we're
flag
see
is
another red
out.
flag. So
Caught the tire there. I don't know if we're going to have an instant replay on that or not, but caught the tractor tire and just flipped him over. They're getting him back on 4 right now. So that turn 3 has been well, I guess that's what we consider that turn 4 really. So that turn 4 is going to be a tricky one and something we need to watch tonight.
and it was Stacy Boucher in that number 17 Shock Tech Yamaha that was upside down. This has to be so frustrating right now for Riley Marquardt, who got a great start on our initial start, got a great start on our rolling restart, and yet again, now he's got Borschinger and the rest of the gang right on his back bumper.
So we're officially 2 laps in, 6:40 on the clock. I don't know how we'll have to re-rack that, but yeah, getting the 17 of Boucher back on 4. See some parts hanging off that car there. Get that tractor tire back in its spot, and we're going to have to tow this one off. Looks like we might have to tow Boucher off of the track. So our competitors on in turn 2 of the oval, getting ready for our pace car to line them back up again, and we'll get rolling again.
So we started with 15. We're down to 10 cars. So
in 2 laps.
I guess unofficially, if nothing else, you can say that the 10 cars you see still out on the race course will advance directly to our A main later on this evening.
There you go. Here's our drone.
Just trying to find a silver lining there to the situation at hand.
Absolutely. There's our drone cam. I believe that's a Castle X drone cam, and I want to thank him for coming out. Great views on our feed tonight. That's Castle X Skycam, and you're going to see that a lot tonight. Great feed from that drone and the Castle Skycam. All right, so you got Marquardt, Borschinger, Bennett, Wassenberg, Parsons, Kosmecki's moved up a few, Shore, Griesbach. Boucher is getting towed off, so he's out. Fisher, Shootman, Remreed, Pointek, Lockstein, and Jones is out of it, like you said. So getting ready here and get them re-racked. Our Sportsman Heat number 1. All right, our pace car pulls off, Shane. getting ready. Cole's got the green flag in his hand.
This time we'll see a single file restart, so should be that much easier for all of our drivers to at least navigate those stock car turns 1 and 2 as we're back to green flag racing here. 6 laps to go here in Sportsman side by side.
So there is an outside line there. You see it is a good speed, but can you hang on into this corner is the question with that speed.
Well, Parsons in the number 19 just made it work. Looks like he's able to go around Wassenberg and get up into 4th. But back out front, Riley Marquardt pulled the pole position and really has not looked back. Already stretched out to about a 3 or 4 car length lead over Borschinger.
Borschinger's been solid so far in those few laps that we've run as well. So Borschinger right there in second. There's a battle third, fourth. Oh, going at it.
Yeah, Bennett pushed out a little bit wide. We're seeing that blue groove come in really early here at 141 Speedway. That opened the door for Parsons.
Oh, the 19 hits a couple of monster barrels. Holy moly, I haven't seen a mess like that in a while. Thank God those are fiberglass.
Yeah, Parsons was trying to get around Bennett, and looks like Parsons just ran out of racetrack. So he's got to collect himself a little bit here. Back out front, Marquardt, Borschinger, as you see on our Castle X Skycam. Marquardt just stretching that lead 1 or 2 car lengths at a time.
So you're going to see as they come around, we have some fiberglass and styrofoam all over the front straight. Some Monster Energy cans were hit. Some barrels, I should say. Here it is from our Castle drone, the replay. Doesn't actually catch it, but he hit both of those, and there is shrapnel all over the track. Clean up in aisle 1.
And even worse for Parsons is he had to get way off the pace because he had a piece of that barrel stuck right in his windscreen.
Oh, I didn't see that.
He actually fell all the way to the tail end of our field. He was up to 4th, battling for 3rd when that happened.
So let's get back on track here, Shane. Look at this battle. 3rd, 4th, and 5th is really heating up.
Yeah, Kosmecki now on the move.
Oh, Kosmecki came up short
3rd.
on the double. Sorry about that. And took a chunk out of the double there when he landed. So there's the battle on our screen for 3rd, 4th, 5th.
Yeah, you can see that corner going out on the backstretch is so tight that these drivers are having a hard time even getting their car to rotate through that turn.
Here's our Maxxis Tires straight camera down that front straight, and you'll see some of that shrapnel and pieces of those monster bottles, monster cans. Here's that tight turn. This is going to be a tricky turn all night. I've seen some people come close to that fence, and that's what
Bennett having some more issues
I
there.
am really worried about that later on tonight.
Yeah, especially when we get into like pro stock, pro mod, when these speeds start to pick up. That is a very tricky portion of this course to navigate. Bennett able to hold on to that spot over Griesbach, though.
Yeah, that'll get interesting. So our leader, Marquardt, Borschinger, Kosmecki 3rd, Wassenberg, and Griesbach, like you said, going at it. Lap number 6 in the books for our Sportsman Heat number 1, Shane, with 2 laps to go. Here's sideways
More
the
contact
22.
and Bennett again involved with the number 20 there.
Oh, but then
Tim
cut
Shore.
across. That's
Yeah, we'll see
what
how
happens
they
there.
score that one.
Yeah, when something like that happens, you don't necessarily want to just cut across and keep going. But, up on the bike. Is that Griesbach possibly?
It's like the 19 of Parsons, the
Oh,
Shock
you're
Tech
right.
ride
Yep.
there. Parsons trying to work his way back forward after obliterating those 2 course marker barrels just a couple laps ago. So we'll see our white flag come out here very soon for our first heat of Sportsman side by side.
The 19 makes the pass there of Parsons on the inside of Griesbach. So another spot up in the standings. But out front, Marquardt going to come across.
Yeah, one last time through stock cars, turn 3 and 4 here. Checkered flag is out. Riley Marquardt is going to take the win here. As we take another look back at our vision wheel instant replay. See that tangle.
20 of
Season
Shore.
Bennett just having all kinds of problems here in this Sportsman side-by-side heat race.
Yeah, but then kept going straight, kind of cut across the track, so that's not great there. So see what happens. Like you said, who makes the call on that? Checkers is out for our Sportsman heat race number 1. There's your winner, Riley Marquardt. So it was Marquardt, Borschinger 2nd. Kosmecki came in 3rd after starting way back. Tim Shore Fourth, Wassenberg, I believe. Yep, moved up to fifth. Parsons, Griesbach, Scheitman, and Nicole Fisher ninth. So sees a bet at 10th there in that one.
Yeah, that one turned really quickly into kind of a battle of survival there for everybody from about third on back.
It did, and I'm sure the drivers in all the other classes are either in the stands watching or watching on their YouTube and live feed back in their trucks and trailers, and they are seeing how tricky this track is going to be tonight. So we'll see. Yeah, they're coming up as Sportsman Heat number 2 is coming to the line. And I think we're going to clean up some of those barrels first, Shane. So I'm not positive on that, but Cole is down there. We want to get some of that stuff off the track, so I think they'll work on that for a minute or two.
One thing that stood out to me in that first race was turn 5, that hard left-hand hairpin back onto the back straight. That's a place I think that could make or break your race, that hairpin onto the back stretch there.
I think both of those hairpins are going to be very tricky tonight. If it does flow, the track flows better than it did last year, but both of those hairpin turns are going to be very treacherous throughout the night, especially as it cools down. Maybe some of the water comes up. They have put a lot of water down, and they're still putting more down, so we'll see what happens later tonight. They are cleaning up some of the trash and those barrels off of the track right now. They just need to get the big heavy stuff off. Look at turn 1, Shane. We got fiberglass and styrofoam pieces everywhere up there in turn 1.
Yeah, mostly inconsequential stuff. Most of it looks like it was blown to the outside of the race course.
Right.
So.
Yep.
Yeah, what a tough break for Parsons. It was certainly not his fault. He just ran out of racetrack, and then those barrels jumped out right in front of him.
Yeah, it was fun to watch from up here, though. I liked it. All right, we're getting ready for Sportsman side-by-side heat number 2. We'll go through the rundown on this one. Matt Vanderheiden in the 3, Ryler Hoyda in the 96, Chase Kleist in the 12, and Ben Berger in the 75.
And it's Bryce Carlson in the number 65. Brandon Thorson is number 56. Number 8 is Kenton Peterson. This is his first time racing a side-by-side. Number 36 is Derek Liebergen. Carter Crook is number 9. Colin Kearns is number 10. Tyson Marquardt is number 2. Number 44 is John Coomer. 16 is Dustin DeGrand, and number 32 is Tice Jones.
As they're cleaning up some of the stuff here, we're going
number 17.
some good racing throughout that, and then we had that incident with the monster barrels. It looks like it's all pretty much cleaned up off of that main front straight. There is some debris in turn 1, but it's on the outside of turn 1, like you said there, and kind of blown off in the corner. You'll see all the there it is there on our screen, fiberglass and styrofoam. So yeah, interesting. All right, we're getting ready for Sportsman side-by-side heat number 2. They're still not out on the track yet. We're putting a little water down. It's a very dry track. Beautiful day, though, Shane, up here in Maribel, Wisconsin, just south of Green Bay, about 20 minutes or so, and kind of your neck of the woods, your home area. You're just down the road, and good to have you here. I know you and I have worked once together on a Champ Off-Road series, and you've been full-time on that series. I've had this series myself here for about 2-3 years, and we've had different people slotting in, but good to have you here for this event.
Absolutely, happy to be here, happy to help. I'm just excited to see some more of this chaos here at the creek.
We're going to have, I believe, a lot of chaos tonight. So if you're here in the stands, thank you all for coming out. Grab yourself a drink or some concessions, some food. I had a brat just before, just to get a little bite in me before we got going. Also, we have 141 Speedway has their own concessions and t-shirts and vending, and also Side-by-Side Sports has some merchandise as well, so please go visit them. Later on tonight, after our main events, we'll have some podium interviews, and cruise on down there and check out the podium interviews. And our merchandise is right near that podium here, just to the east. I guess that'd be the north of our announcer's tower here. So here they come, Shane. Our Sportsman Heat number 2. We went down that rundown. And the number 3, Vanderheiden, is going to have the pole on this one. The 12, Hoyda, Kleist, and Berger behind. So who are you watching in this one? What are you seeing? What are you thinking? I see Liebergen in there. Colin Kearns is also always in the mix. Tyson Marquardt, don't count him out, man. Been ripping this summer.
Yeah, Marquardt, Kearns, Liebergen, Chase Kleist, these are all guys that lived on the podium all summer in the Champ Off-Road Series. So looking for all those drivers to run near the front here as well.
CJ's lining them up there, pointing where he wants them. See the orange flag on the number 2 there of Marquardt, not right in our screen right now, but I asked him what that was about at Lena, and he said that's just so a spotter can find him in the treacherous conditions. If it's muddy, dusty, whatever it is, the spotters can see him with that orange flag there. It is
not only that, but in the Champ Off-Road Series, he races in the Pro-Am side-by-side class along with his brother Dylan Marquardt. Identical cars, so one has a green flag, one has an orange flag. So doing their spotters a favor big time.
Exactly. Us too. We'll try to remember those colors. So, all right, CJ's got them lined up. We're going to do a different start on this one, you believe? Let's see what they're going to do on the start of this one. So, heat number 2, Sportsman. After this, we'll get into our 570s, presented by Race Driven. And then the Pro Stock, presented by Yamaha, the new RMAX 1000. But our Sportsman, this is always a fun class. You guys have been getting tremendous turnout for the Sportsman classes at the Champ Series races.
Yeah, not only big fields, but drivers that are more and more talented. You know, when side-by-side racing really popped up here in the Midwest, the talent level wasn't extraordinary, but now it's to that level. And we're going to see how that talent plays out here in heat number 2, Sportsman side-by-side. Immediately Chase Kleist looking around Vanderheiden there in turn 1. Vanderheiden able to slam the door, though.
Yeah, Kleist on the inside, and they bump a little, not too hard. But that 3 of Vanderheiden still holds the lead into the midsection. Oh, way back. We got a couple of cars tangling up there.
Coomer is one of those cars involved.
Here's our Cadillac Skycam. There's the number 3, Vanderheiden out front. The 12 of Kleist in second. 65, Carlson has moved up, having a good run early in this one.
Yeah, with that 2x2 rolling start, it's actually the 3 drivers that were on the inside of the first 3 rows that have worked their way to the front. So that's maybe something to keep an eye on as well, especially when we move into our heat races with the competition yellows, that drivers on the inside of our stacked restarts might have the advantage, although this race line could move drastically here on this clay oval.
Did you see what Kleist did in that tight hairpin turn? Kind of went in hot, grabbed the brakes, and held up Vanderheiden. So Kleist moves into the lead. Great little block pass type move there, and has the lead now coming into the next hairpin.
That's really the kind of aggression that we're going to have to see from these drivers, though. Like we were saying, the track is so tight. You have to be aggressive. You don't have time to wait for a mistake from the driver in front of you. You don't have time to set up a pass that takes a whole lap to set up. You got to go now. Take another look at it here.
There you go on the Vision Wheel instant replay. There it is. Now watch, he grabs the brakes, maybe not even trying to hold him up, just kind of trying to grab that inside line. So
it almost looked like he took Vanderheiden by surprise there. Vanderheiden was about to turn in and went,
go.
There's a car there.
There you go. From up here, it looked like a block pass. That was certainly a nice surprise pass. So here they are, still going at it, Shane, around the pond and the inside and through this left-hand hairpin turn. It is Kleist, Vanderheiden, and Carlson. Ben Berger is 4th. Kenton Peterson and Colin Kearns top 6.
Carlson not going away in that number 65 Polaris. It's a really strong run for him. Vanderheiden now trying to close that gap back up to Chase Kleist and get that spot back. Both of those front 2 cars had a little bit of an issue there with that left-hand hairpin.
Kind of trying to slide in there and slide job, like you say, and try to get into that corner. It's difficult. They're all going inside through the rollers here. Everyone's pretty much going through there. You can't go too far out. And then into this left-handed hairpin here, all the way up to the wall and the cushion. So clean pretty much so far in this heat number 2, Shane, and Not too much crazy action or crashes. Everyone's pretty clean in this one so far.
Kleiss starting to stretch his lead over Vanderheiden and Carlson. That battle for second really heating up, and again, Vanderheiden having some issues getting that number 3 to turn into that left-hand hairpin. Carlson really starting to put some pressure on now.
Yeah, Carlson looks like he's getting some good traction with that thing and trying to make some moves on Vanderheiden, where Vanderheiden's kind of fishtailing around a little bit. I see it looks like a little more balance out of Carlson there. We'll see if he can catch up here with a couple laps to go.
Should be 3 laps to go here in Sportsman side-by-side, heat number 2.
All right.
We're seeing this track is getting slick all over the place.
Look how
here.
far they're drifting out into almost to the pond, Shane. That worries me a bit later on tonight in that safety fence there. We'll see. Here's through the double in the infield in front of the crowd. There's Carlson in the 65 car trying to get in on Vanderheiden. Carry that speed and then get going through turn 3 on the oval, turn 4 and down our front straight. Here's the Castellet Skycam, the 12 over the top of Chase Kleiss. Kleiss hugs the cement barriers on the inside, drifts out a little here.
Yeah, you saw a little bit of a push there as he went through stock car turn 2.
Slides right into that turn, perfect. But here's the battle we're really watching.
Absolutely, Carlson continuing to put some pressure on the back bumper of Vanderheiden. Come back through our infield section around the pond here at 141 Speedway.
What tires are they running? What are they doing for traction?
I think you'll find a lot of different answers depending on who you talk to be honest. Like I said, a lot of these guys are used to racing on, not a packed clay surface as we see the white flag out. So some of it's just guesswork. Some of it maybe they practiced yesterday on one tire, maybe took a chance and then decide from there, hey, maybe I'll get some more traction with a tighter tread pattern. Or
yeah, hard to say. Hard to say. We'll talk to some of these guys later on tonight about tire choice. But it's the number 12, Chase Kleiss, going to try to roll this thing home with 2 turns to go. That battle is awesome. Vanderheiden and Carlson right there on your screen through the rollers. There's Kleiss out front on the right, and Vanderheiden and Carlson on the left. Here comes your leader.
One last time off of stock car turn 4, Chase Kleiss will take the win here in heat number 2. Vanderheiden holds on for second. I like what I saw there from Carlson. Put a lot of pressure on Vanderheiden throughout that race. Tyson Marquardt in the number 2 will finish in 4th. And then the number 8 of Kenton Peterson will round out the top 5. Kearns, Berger, Liebergen, Thorson, and Tice Jones will also transfer directly to the Sportsman side-by-side A-main.
Well, good to see heat 2 pretty clean there, and everyone made it through that one without incident. So good on Chase Kleiss, another win there, a heat race win. That's going to give him some confidence, and Marquardt up to 4th at the finish there. So all right, a good Sportsman heat race. We'll get ready for our 570 presented by Race Driven coming up next.
Introducing the evolution of pure sport performance. The new 2019 YXZ 1000R. The 5-speed YXZ 1000R and YXZ 1000R Sport Shift offer increased off-road capability and overall performance. Low-speed terrain ability is enhanced with new transmission gear ratios and revised suspension settings without sacrificing the YXZ's legendary high-speed prowess. Aggressive terrain is no match for new 29-inch tires, while a rear relocated oversized radiator offers increased cabin comfort and confidence in a wide variety of terrain. And updated styling offers excellent visibility in a roomier overall cabin. To help you realize your adventure even further, the YXZ 1000R comes pre-wired for the new Yamaha Adventure Pro GPS, powered by Magellan. From open deserts and dunes to tight technical trails. No other pure sports side-by-side offers the adrenaline-inducing thrill and direct connection like the new Yamaha YXZ 1000R.
Back here at 141 Speedway. Dave Derringer, Shane Stetsny up here in the booth with you guys today. Good crowd on hand, Shane, and a beautiful day here, 141 Speedway, Maribel, Wisconsin.
Yeah, unfortunately for us here in northeast Wisconsin, not many days like this left on our calendar this year, so good to see that so many of the local racing fans are enjoying this beautiful weather. Temperature in the low 70s when racing began just a little while ago. We expect that to dip a little bit as the sun gets lower in our western sky, but absolutely clear right now. Hardly a cloud in sight.
I would have thought it was a lot warmer than that. It felt warmer than that to me. Well, our 570s coming out, Shane. We're still putting a little water down. Let's do the rundown in that. Benjamin Hiding on the 19, Dylan Rohlhoff in the 03 car, and Ella Holcher in the 40 car.
Yeah, Ella is a superstar of short course racing here in the Midwest already. Ethan Dressel will start alongside Ella in the number 8. Then it'll be Colin Peitel in the number 44. Number 13 is Riker Remington. Jaden Dickman is the number 26X. And the number 7 is Chase Braun. He was the Champ Off-Road 570 class champion this year.
So in our points, we have Troy Johnson's leading this one. And doesn't look like he's here. Ella Holcher in second with 42 points, Shane, so she has a chance at it. Benjamin Hiding, Colin Peitel, Chase Braun, and Ethan Dressel in our points coming into this final round. All right, before we get them going here, let's run a few billboards on our screen. Want to thank Monster Energy, obviously our title sponsor, King of the Elements, in their third or fourth year with us, I believe, so they've been an excellent sponsor. We want to thank them for everything they've done. Vision Wheel, of course, great sponsor as well. Started on with Johnny and CJ and become now a series sponsor. I know you see all the Vision guys out there and a lot of Vision Wheels out on the track as well.
Yeah, Todd Robinson and the gang back at Vision, huge supporters of racing here in the Midwest. And my favorite thing about these partners is that they're not just supporting pro-level racing, but they're also supporting youth racing, which is so important to me and so important to the growth of our sport.
Great
so
point.
We thank Vision Wheel. We also thank Maxxis Tires for their support. We talked about tires a little bit earlier. I'm sure the gang at Maxxis has been doing a little home cooking, trying to come up with the best possible tire combination for their drivers here at Chaos at the Creek.
I believe so. I was talking to Dave earlier down there, and they're trying to figure out the hot tire tonight, and said the people are coming up and checking out the tires, so they are trying to get that all figured out. Stop by, see Dave and the crew down there at Maxxis Tires. All right, we're getting ready for our 570 side-by-sides coming out here momentarily, putting some more water down on some of those super dry hairpin turns. Shane, try to give them a little traction coming into those turns. See what we can see here for our 570s coming up next.
Yeah, it'll be interesting, like we've already talked about a little bit, just to see how this track develops. We've already seen a little bit of lane choice with some drivers in the full-size classes running the outside line, especially on the oval section of the course. But you honestly can't carry too much speed when you're entering that hairpin on the exit of stock car turn 2, what we'll call turn 3 there onto the infield, because if you're coming in there too hot, you're just going to overcook it, and it's going to cost you spots.
All right, well, we'll be right back. We're going to throw a commercial up, and we'll be right back with you after this. All right, we're back, Shane. The 570's off and running. What do you think in this one? Hiding, Roloff, Hulcher, Dressel, Padel, Remington, Dickman,
Whoa,
and Braun.
big trouble. Hiding went all the way up to the wall and bounced off it. That's going to shuffle him back a little bit here. So we see it looks like Dylan Roloff from Fond du Lac, Wisconsin is going to be the early race leader through the infield. Then it's Dressel from Minnesota, part of the Bone Motorsports team. So you got Wisconsin, Minnesota, Michigan, your top three as they go through the infield. Ella Holcher in fourth in that number 40 HBI machine. So see, look at how tail happy a lot of these cars are as they come back onto the back straightaway there out of turn 5.
That's right where they put the water down, trying to give them some more traction. So it's the old three, like you said, Roloff out front, Dressel and Hiding. And then you were telling me the 13 Remington filling in for Troy Johnson there.
Yeah, Remington making his debut in the 570 side-by-sides. Running mid-pack right now, so doing a fine job as a very green rookie. But out front, it's still Roloff. Really putting the power down. As you see some of these cars just bouncing, nearly endoing through the over the double jump in front of us here.
Yeah, one came a little short and shot over the through the next turn. There it is there.
Oh, and that's trouble for Chase Braun, the number 7. Really expected him to do well here after the summer that he had racing in Champ Off-Road. Took home the 570 championship in that series. That'll be a tough break for him.
Roloff and Dressel. Dressel having problems with the corner into the fence. So the 19 Hiding moving in and gets around Dressel. Almost went into the fence there.
And that's going to let the 40 of Ella Holcher join the party as well in that battle for second, third, and fourth.
Got a local yellow on that double jump because of the Braun off in the cushion there. Making sure he is safe over there. So he's still got a battle. Roloff, Dressel, Hiding, and Holcher.
I believe Braun was one of those cars that landed really hard on that double jump, so I don't want to speculate, but certainly we hope the driver's all right, as we're going to have a red flag situation here. So unfortunately, I think my fear may have been well placed there. We're going to slow him down to a complete stop.
Well, they're bringing the tow truck out, actually, Shane, so maybe something broke, hopefully, instead of an injury.
Hopefully the car.
Yeah. And there it is on your screen there. So the tow truck comes out. It was not on camera, but I actually saw it just through my vision, just looking over our screen here, and came up short on the double. The back end really lifted up high, and I didn't see any parts or anything break, but I know what you're saying as well as a possible injury. But
well, he's going to climb out here.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Awesome. Good to see. The safety crew with them. There's CJ heading over there to make sure everything's good. So something absolutely with the car broke or failed there. Yeah, he sat down, maybe shaken up a little bit.
Yeah, wind knocked out of him, could be. Again, we don't want to speculate too much on what happened there.
Let's see if we have the replay on that. It's possible. That's not, he did similar to that, where he kind of came up a little short. You might see it here on our Vision Wheel instant replay.
Yeah, he was trying to work his way up through the field, so really charging hard. Like I said, he's been on a tear this summer, racing all over the Midwest. See his dad Clint down there, checking in on his talented young driver.
Well, we hope all is good. He is walking off, and they're going to tow that car off. So we'll get our cars lined up here. They're on, they're in turn 1, Shane, and we'll get our 570s back on track here momentarily. There they are, getting ready for a restart here. We are lap number 3 of our 570 heat race.
Looking at our point standings here in the 570s presented by Race Driven. Troy Johnson, the number 13 car, was leading points entering this final round of side-by-side sports, but like we said, he turned the steering wheel over to Riker Remington. So Remington has a chance to fill in and mop up a championship here in his debut weekend in the 570. Hey, no pressure, kid. Go out there and do your best, but please don't cost this car the championship.
Sure, setting in 5th right now, so it's a chance. Talked to JP down there, said he just purchased that car, saw it for sale, and said, I got to jump on this, get Riker in the seat there, and like you said, could pull it off tonight. We'll see. There is CJ Greaves in the pace car.
And of course, JP Remington, VP Fuels, another huge supporter of racing and especially youth racing here in the Midwest.
Yes, sir. And VP's in the house as well, selling race gas tonight. They are off and running, Shane. The 03 gets the start. Dylan Roloff, who's pretty much had this one since the start, gets challenged on the inside at 19 of Hiding.
Pretty good jump on that restart by the number 8 of Ethan Dressel, but now he's stuck on the outside. Just ran out of racetrack. Everybody gets bottled up behind the number 8 car there. That's going to let our 2 leaders get away a little bit, Roloff and Hiding. Doesn't look like a lot of change in the running order, though. It'll still be Dressel in 4th, or excuse me, Dressel 3rd, Ella Holcher in 4th, and Remington rounding out the top 5.
All right, so going at it, and Hiding trying to get in, actually, and make a move here through.
Oh, in trouble. Sorry to cut you off there,
Yeah.
Dave. Trouble a little bit further back. That's Ella Holcher, the number 40. Looks like she's lost power in that HBI machine. It's back up front. A little challenge for the lead. Hiding was trying to stick his nose down underneath Roloff through stock car turn 1. He's there again. Roloff doing a tremendous job of playing some defense there, just holding his race line.
Out of the picture, they pushed Ella's car out of the way, so we'll keep this race running. Like I said, Roloff Hiding having a good battle. Hiding trying to get in there, and then Ethan Dressel in 3rd, kind of waiting for some action, waiting for something to happen, try to sneak in there and make a move. Got a tight hairpin there coming back down the front straight. That's a difficult turn.
Yeah, you see Dressel, he's starting to experiment with different lines through those 2 hairpins just a little bit here.
Well, white flag for Roloff, Hiding, Dressel, and Remington in 4th, a ways back. But look at this battle, Shane. 1, 2, and 3 going at it.
Dressel's going to set up outside and try to dive down to the bottom, but there's just no traction down there. He pushed almost all the way to the guardrail by the pond. That's going to pretty much take him out of that battle for 2nd place.
Hiding did too, actually. They both kind of slipped out, so Roloff is 2 corners away from pulling this heat race off in the 570s.
Yeah, the thing about these 570s is they're obviously very limited, but they do have enough horsepower and enough torque to get you into trouble there. And you saw, like we said, Dressel experimenting a little bit and couldn't put that line together and pushed almost into that guardrail. But there's the checkered flag. Roloff will take the win here in the heat race for the 570s presented by Race Driven. 2nd place will be the Race Driven machine of Ben Hiding, with Ethan Dressel rounding out the podium for this one.
Dickman, Remington, and Padel 4th, 5th, and 6th in our 570, Shane. So not a bad little heat race there for the 570s. We'll see some of them later on tonight in our main events. Do some podiums, do some championships later on tonight. That's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, how great is that? I get a call this week. Hey, do you want to come announce some side-by-side racing? Absolutely. I love off-road racing. I'm in. I get to be at the finale event. Get to crown the Monster Energy King of the Elements later on tonight as well. Get to have a big party about it.
You might
I got the right phone call at the right time.
You might even get some free pizza, bro.
Hey, I'll do just about anything for free pizza, to be honest with you.
Well, stay away from me. All right, we'll be right back in a few minutes after this commercial. Hang with us.
Are you tired of searching all over the internet for that perfect set of wheels for your ride? Then download the all-new Vision It app from Vision Wheels. The all-new Vision It augmented reality app lets you preview hundreds of Vision wheels on your vehicle in a matter of seconds. Just download the app, select your wheel of choice, and share photos of your vehicle via social media or email. It's the Vision It app, new from Vision Wheel.
relax with your adventurous side and find your drive with Race Driven. As an online retailer, dealership, and manufacturer, we can provide power sport enthusiasts with virtually any part or accessories for ATV, UTV, and motorcycles. Providing a variety of services including manufacturing, prototyping, and powder coating, Race Driven gets it all done right in Escanaba. Our highly experienced team will find you the best products to maximize your performance and keep you safe. Customer driven, quality driven, race driven.
Rugged radios. Work, race, play.
Hey Steve, where you at?
Experience clear communications through headsets or helmet kits.
I'm up on the hill to your right. Oh, there you are.
Talk vehicle to vehicle.
Keep radio contact going. Copy?
Talk to passengers.
Copy that, I gotcha.
And stream your favorite music. Complete communications for UTVs, base camp, toy haulers, or off-road vehicles. Rugged radios, the authority in communications.
We swapped out our OEM axles for Demon Power Sports heavy-duty axles. They're constructed of dual heat-treated 4130 chromoly, feature a dual plunge design, and TPEE boots for improved durability.
A larger diameter axle, increased CV joint size, wider articulation angles, and an increase in plunge are all said to add up to an increase in strength. Our 2 days worth of testing easily put them through a couple cross-country races worth of abuse, with no failures, issues, or play in the CV joints to report. It's a performance that many stock and some aftermarket axles would struggle to duplicate.
All right, we're back. 141 Speedway here in Maribel, Wisconsin. I want to thank everybody for tuning in on the YouTube and the live feed and all the fans in the crowd. We got a great crowd here, Shane, for round number 3, King of the Elements. This is Chaos at the Creek here, 141 Speedway, Maribel, Wisconsin. Getting ready, coming up next, Pro Stock Heat Race presented by Yamaha.
Yeah, and we're already seeing, we talked about this track layout at the top of the show, very technical. We've already seen a couple cars go upside down. We've seen some tangling. We've seen some drivers struggling with track conditions. And we do have to give a tip of the cap to Jaden Trucking and Excavating, who did the dirt work building our jumps for us here at Chaos at the Creek at 141 Speedway. They've created a challenging layout through this infield section that we've already seen claim a couple cars and a couple drivers.
We have, and it's, King of the Elements. And back in March, we were at Eagle River and did that race in the snow, and the ice pretty much melted snow. It was very watery and wet. And then we went to Dirt City, obviously, awesome track up there, just not far from here, maybe an hour from here, Lena, Wisconsin, and Dirt City Motorplex. Hi to those guys if they're watching in. We're all friends with them, you and I, and all the crew.
I already talked to a couple of the board members that are actually here.
Nice.
So they're represented in the building. Of course, the Holcher Racing family very heavily involved up there at Dirt City Motorplex.
So that was awesome. That was round number 2, and that was in June. A little bit of rain, but mainly just great conditions there at Dirt City. So there's another different condition, and then we come here, hard pack, dry, slippery, and very similar to last year. Chaos at the Creek here, 141 Speedway, and it's going to be a challenge. They did change up a couple turns here. And our sportsmen are coming out, our Pro Stock side-by-side's coming out next, presented by Yamaha. I am really looking forward to this.
Absolutely. This is going to be, well, they're all going to be a great show this evening here at 141 Speedway. We're taking a look at some of our highlights from that 570 heat race. You were talking about all the elements that these drivers have faced this year in side-by-side sports. You know, I'm going to jump on my soapbox here for a little bit. Every time I hear a driver complain about track conditions or try to blame a poor performance on track conditions, all I can do is just chuckle a little bit, because everybody out here is racing on the same track.
Sure.
You have to beat the track as well as beating the other drivers. But Pro Stock side-by-side, heat number 1 about to go off. Who do we have in this one?
Looks like Johnny Holcher, man. He's the number 44 car. You cannot count him out. This kid is up and coming. Berger, Anella, Scott Waz, Van Eperen, McKnight, Kloss, Matt Wood, and Justin Tesmer. They are off and running already, Shane.
It's like a good clean start. All 9 of these drivers making it down through turn 1 and 2 just fine. Johnny Holcher is going to hold the point, but Scott Waz battling with Berger there side by side, and it's going to be Waz in second. Look at that pack of dogs behind Waz and Berger, though.
Yeah, I love it. Owen Van Eperen in the 5. Don't count him out. He is coming through the pack, looking for a championship tonight and maybe even a King of the Elements championship. We'll see.
Yeah, not bad for a kid who's still in high school.
Just turned 15, I found out.
He's going to have to
Just
chase
turned
down
15.
Johnny Holcher, though, and Holcher doing a tremendous job laying down a very fast first lap. He was over a second faster, almost a second and a half faster than the rest of the field there on lap 1.
Johnny has been doing so much racing, Shane, and you've seen most of it.
Every discipline that he can get behind the wheel, he jumps at the opportunity, and there's no replacement for seat time. You can't beat seat time by spending more money. All you can do is practice and prove yourself as a driver, and Holcher does that as well as anybody in off-road racing.
He does. I love it. And I follow him on social media and just watch every week. They're somewhere different, and they're going after it. And like you said, in different disciplines, different cars. And he is obviously learning from it. I love that 15 car, the 75 car Berger in second. Look at that blue color on that thing. Gorgeous car.
Yeah, so you got Johnny Holcher out front, who's not yet 20 years old. Then you have Berger, who is advanced in years, more experienced, we'll say, but has had a fine season, a fine summer racing all over the Midwest.
Scott Waz was the king our first year, several years ago. I think that was 19. And good to see him out in the mix. He's in third in this heat race, mixing it up with the younger guys. So Scott trying to do some damage tonight as well. Then Owen Van Epperen up to fourth. Look at Owen.
Yeah, Van Epperen, that number 5, the Power Sports 1 car, is on the move here. He's gotten past Matt Wood in the number 19.
Yamaha, Yamalube, GYTR, all the guys helping him out. Owen is the future of the sport, in my opinion. The next maybe CJ. Got to be careful what we say there, but I think Owen has got it, man. He's got the blood and he's got the racing, and his dad thinks everything of him, and he's putting it all into Owen Van Epperen. So we'll see what he can do. Fourth in this one right now. He's got to get going.
Yeah, and as you said, he's got that shot at winning the King of the Elements as well. So
how huge would that be at 15 years old?
Halfway through this one here in heat number 1, Pro Stock side-by-side presented by Yamaha. And it is the Yamaha number 44, the Holcher Brothers Ink Machine. Johnny Holcher running out front. As we take a look in car there.
I believe that's Owen. Yep, that's Owen Van Epperen in car. So watching him carry that thing around. Look at very calm in the car, doing some shifting with those paddle shifters there in the YXZ. So battling and trying to make a move, but out front.
Very deliberate with inputs. You don't see any sawing at the wheel.
Correct.
You don't see any corrections. He just decides where he's going to put the car. He puts it there. He's very calm. That's a recipe for success in any kind of racing, not just off-road racing.
Let's go back to the front. Johnny Holcher out front right now. Look at the gap. He is pulling away from these guys. They're out 4.3 seconds over Berger, Waz, and Owen Van Epperen in fourth.
Yeah, Johnny Holcher just about a whole straightaway, that infield straightaway ahead of the rest of the field. You see Holcher having no problems getting that car to rotate. He's another one. He's very deliberate with his inputs. You don't see him making any corrections, and I've said it a few times already, but you have to limit mistakes, especially on such a tight track, and Holcher has made 0 mistakes so far.
Man, look at him just power slide through turn 1 and 2 all the way, and then into that corner too. The hairpin corner's really got that dialed. Good ride for Holcher. We also have a pretty good battle there. Berger and Waz second and third.
Yeah, Waz was about 0.4 of a second faster on that previous lap than the 75 of Berger, so we'll see if he can put that Dirt Syndicates machine up to the back bumper of Berger.
Then Owen has got some company with Matt Wood on the 19, is doing pretty well.
Yeah, Wood stole that spot.
He did. So what's going on with Owen there? We've got to keep an eye on that. Here's Holcher on the screen, coming around that whole first turn, second turn section into the hairpin. He's really smooth through those corners.
1 lap to go now for Johnny Holcher. Actually, about half a lap to go for our Pro Stock side-by-side field here.
He's tiptoeing through those corners, getting the front end, diving in there, sliding the rear end around. Berger, Waz, second and third still. Here he comes.
Worth pointing out that Johnny Holcher has done some oval racing, so these are very familiar conditions to him, whereas they may not be to guys like Berger, who is going to finish second here, and Waz will be third. Holcher might have found the magic formula tires, car setup, and everything right here from the jump in our heat race.
True. Matt Wood ends up 4th. Owen Van Eperen 5th. So interesting on that one. 6th, Jordan McKnight. 7th, Caden Anala. 8th, Jesse Kloss. Justin Tessmer in the 80 car is 9th. So a clean pro stock heat race there. And Johnny Holcher, man, the man of the minute right now. He is looking good heading into those main events later on tonight. So track's still super dry. Going to put some more water down, Shane. And but these guys, like you said, maybe they were watching up in the stands, maybe they were watching back in their motorhome, but kind of learning from some of the classes before them.
Yeah, the real pros too. Not only the drivers, but their spotters. They're watching every race. I mean, you can learn a lot even from watching those 570s. You can see where the holes are starting to develop. You can see how high up the race line is moved. So, absolutely, no doubt that these drivers are taking notes throughout the night.
So we're going to have our second heat, pro stock, coming up next here, and see who's going to give Johnny Holcher a run. It's going to be a fun night. Good crowd on hand here, 141 Speedway, Maribel, Wisconsin. I want to thank all of you for coming out. I want to thank everybody watching on YouTube and the live Facebook feed. Please share that link if you could. Get it out there. A nice Saturday night. Who knows who's doing what around the country, and watch some side-by-side racing here with us in just south of Green Bay, Wisconsin. You're home here, just a few minutes away, so good to have you with Shane. We've talked about that, and a lot of great sponsors. Our final round here, the King of the Elements, Monster Energy King of the Elements here in Maribel, Wisconsin. So it's going to be a fun night. We will have an intermission after all our heat races. Then we'll get into our main events, podium interviews, and your free pizza party later tonight.
That's what I'm here for, man. Is there a better way to spend an evening, though, in Wisconsin than sitting on the, right here in the stands at a dirt track?
This is pretty good, but Monday night I'm going to the Packer game, so I'm pretty stoked on that too.
Yeah, fair point.
After an interesting start last week, but whatever. We will talk about. Let's go to a highlight reel from that last race, Shane. Here it is.
Going to be kind of a boring highlight package for John Holcher because you see the lead he had right there on lap 1, and that was just about it for Johnny. He put down some tremendous laps, not only blazing fast laps, but consistency. He got a couple tenths faster just about every lap. Yeah, Berger, Waz, everybody else did their best to give chase, but Johnny Holcher might be making some noise later in our main event.
Yeah, Holcher looks really good. Matt Wood pretty much made one of the only moves on Owen Van Eperen there at the finish. There's the final lap for Holcher, and look at him power slide all the way through 1 and 2, and then sets himself up for that corner there. Here's that final, I guess that's not the final turn, but final hairpin into turn number 4 on the stock car track and down our front straight. Look at that, it's almost cement down there.
Yeah, for the fans watching at home, too, who aren't familiar with dirt track conditions, you see that it looks like asphalt, but it is anything but down there. That clay packs in, and it becomes very, very slippery, especially as we move through pro stock, and a little bit later we get into pro mod side-by-side. We're going to see drivers that you almost have to run the cushion. You're not going to have any grip down low.
Gotcha. Getting ready for pro stock heat number 2, Shane. Well, we're going to have a minute to set them up. Let's throw it to a commercial. We'll be right back after this. All right, we're back and running. Shane off and running. They got that one on us. Matt Bond, Tim Christensen, Joe Dressel, Dylan Marquardt, Benji Lacrosse, Rodney Van Eperen, Zach Jenke, and Josh Bear in this Pro Stock Heat 2.
Yeah, another good talented field here. So we're off and running, and it looks like that will be the number 54 of Lacrosse.
Wow.
Who started 5th, so started in the 3rd row.
And they get tangled, Shane.
Yeah, he got tangled up with, I believe, the 36 of Joe Dressel. And they collected Tim Christensen, the number 88 as well. Christensen didn't make any contact, but had to come to a complete stop just to not get tangled up there. Out front, it's going to be the 13 of Matt Bone with the 45 of Hot Rod Van Eperen running in 2nd. And the 22, Dylan Marquardt, will be in 3rd after that incident there on lap 1. Man, what a tough break for the 54 of Lacrosse. Got out to that great start.
It was, too. Both of us were kind of like, who is this car? So, yep, off and running. Here's a Vision Wheel instant replay, Shane. Let's check it out, see what happened here.
Well, looks like Dressel just overcooked it a little bit.
He did. Neither of them turned, and here's another shot here. Boom. Well, that happens. Out front, Bone, Van Eperen, Marquardt, and Bayer. There's Bone, the 13.
Actually looks like Bayer is running off the pace and might be pulling off the race course.
Yeah,
Well, he's
Marquardt
back
actually,
under power. So
you're right. So let's see if Rodney can get in here on Bone and make a move. Rodney has actually lost a little bit of time here on Matt Bone. And
yeah, Bone has the fastest lap of the race so far as well. He's about 0.6 faster than Hot Rod Van Eperen. Good run for the Polaris there. Part of that big Bone Motorsports team. We'll see a handful of the cars running the Bone Motorsports logo later on in the mini class as well.
Look at Rodney slide into that hairpin. Matt looks very comfortable. Here comes over the double here in front of us. Very comfortable, real clean. Little tiny bobble in that corner, but nothing to worry about. Rodney.
I don't know if that was so much of a bobble as there's just a big hole developing down there.
Could be. Very well could be, but he gets around that turn clean. Rodney had an issue coming out of that corner there. Wrong gear or something, but here's Matt Bone leading this one. And they are going at it. So there's Bone and Van Eperen, 1 and 2. Shane, and trying to get this. So from what you see right now, Bone and Rodney, do you think they got much for Johnny Holcher?
Well, I'm looking just by lap time alone. Matt Bone is about a half a second slower each lap than Johnny Holcher was, which is a bad sign for these guys in Pro Stock side-by-side here.
Yep. That's kind of what I'm thinking just watching this. Johnny Holcher looked incredible in this previous heat race. So Bone looking good in this one. He is pulling away big time from Rodney Van Eperen, who has been who was last year's King of the Elements champ. So Bone looking really good right now.
Yeah, very strong run for the Polaris there. About 2.5 laps to go as he navigates up and over that double jump. And again, seems like just about every driver choosing the inside over those little stutter bumps there. So we'll see if that changes a little bit later on, if other drivers want to experiment with trying to run that outside line.
A couple to go. Here's Matt Bone coming across once again. And let's look at his gap. 4.5 seconds on Rodney Van Eperen, who is no slouch in this class.
Yeah, Bone really laying it down. Dylan Marquardt is running in 3rd.
And look how far back he is from
and
Rodney.
Marquardt picked up a championship in another series this year.
Sure.
So Marquardt, just like you said about Van Eperen, he's no slouch.
Exactly. I bumped into them earlier, and they were ready for tonight, that's for sure. So him and his brother, that is. Here's Bone. White flag there, Shane, for Matt Bone out front. The 13 car looking really good in this heat race. Rodney Van Eperen in 2nd. Dylan Marquardt a ways back in 3rd. Benji Lacrosse is caught up. He's up in 4th. Joe Dressel and Zach Jenke, 5 and 6.
You know, it's such a small sample size for lacrosse, but the speed that he showed on that start of this race before he got tangled up, it looked like how quickly he went from the third row right into the race lead was just unbelievable.
Yeah.
So I think he's probably got a little more to show, and he'll be very motivated as we look ahead to our A main.
Here he comes, final corner for Matt Bone, the 13 car from start to finish pretty much. Taking the checkers there from Cole, and coming across, there's Rodney Van Eperen in front of the crowd there, coming across in second. So he's got some studying to do before that main event later tonight in that Power Sports 1 Yamaha YXZ 1000. There's Bone, your winner in the 13 car. Look at that. Castle X Skycam. Want to say hi to the guys from Castle X in the house tonight, I believe, just down the street in Green Bay. I don't know if you know, I worked for them for about 14 years before I moved on to Yamaha. So say hi to the guys from Castle. I saw them here last year. I've not seen them tonight, but I know they're here in the crowd and a great sponsor. Did you see the championship jackets we're going to give away to some of the champions? They displayed them at the drivers' meeting. They are Castle X jackets with this King of the Elements embroidered in it. It is very cool.
Now, I left the drivers' meeting about halfway through, and now I'm really regretting that I did that.
You'll
I didn't
see
know
the
there was
jackets.
going to be,
they just showed them.
Sneak previews.
They
or
did.
anything.
They showed those jackets. They are really cool. So the champions in each class will get a Castle X jacket embroidered with that King of the Elements insignia logo on the back. So that should be fun. Well, some interesting pro stock side-by-side races there, Shane. Let's go to a highlight reel of this one.
Yeah, here's that incident again with Ross and Dressel. Kind of deflated the race that could have been there because Tim Christensen, the fast driver, Dressel, consistent. In terms of over Matt Bone, just about all she wrote for that second pro stock side-by-side. Talk about featherweight and Matt Bone is pulled away from Rodney Van Eperen. That's pretty impressive.
Drive there for Matt Bone, and he brought it home. Hey, real quick, to the people in the crowd here, I have a black GMC Sierra that needs to be moved, license plate RE4609, and a white Chevy ABD2556. You have some people parked in, so if you're listening in, guys, black GMC Sierra, RE4609 is the plate, and a white Chevy ABD2556. We'd ask you to move those cars, please. You have some people parked in that have to leave. Please move those cars. Black GMC Sierra and a white Chevy. Didn't tell me what kind of car that is. ABD2556. Please move those vehicles if you could. Thank you. All right, we'll be back after this. Coming up next, Side-by-Side Mini, presented by Race Driven.
built to raise the bar for comfort and performance. Tough enough for the roughest trail. Tame enough for the daily commute. The all-new Maxxis Razor MT. A more refined mud terrain.
Welcome back to the Chaos at the Creek here, Side by Side Sports. It's the Monster Energy King of the Elements finale here for the 2021 season in Maribel, Wisconsin. We're about to go back to some youth racing, 170, or the side-by-side minis, I should say, presented by Race Driven, coming up next. 21 cars in the field. Grant Dressel will start on the pole alongside William Holcher. Then it's Grayson Arneson, Camden Peitel, Jack Betts, Chevy Kruger, CJ Kruger, and Raymond Denninger will be in row 4. Then it's Finley Holcher, Tanner Tebow, Abigail Bone, Lila DeLory is out there in the 199. Then it is Ella Holcher, Ashley Bone, Harper Prost, Jax Romanesco, Aiden Williams, Colin Peitel, Ashton Dreyer, Mason Schultz, and Corbin Wassenberg rounding out your 21-car field.
Love it. Love to see it. And they're getting them lined up, like you said, and ready to go here. 21 cars in our side-by-side mini as they come into the final race here, Shane. Colin Peitel, 48 points. Raymond Denninger, 38 points. Ella Holcher, 38. And Finley Holcher, 38. So a three-way battle for second there. And maybe, with some luck, a championship. And they are off and running. Green flag.
Yeah, they were already 3 wide before they got to the start-finish line there. But it looks like it'll be Dressel down there on the inside of William Holcher. That'll be the early battle for the lead. Arneson and Betts side-by-side battling for 3rd and 4th.
So Dressel has the point here early in this one as they get through that hairpin. Oh, one car gets turned around and gets into traffic. Oh,
big trouble down there in the hairpin.
Well, got through it okay.
Yeah, everybody able to get by relatively all right there as we're still 3 wide further back in the field. That's just what you get here in the side-by-side minis, though. They're so evenly matched, but no shortage of talent, and these drivers are very aggressive at times.
Well, as they come around for lap number 1, the 36 Grant Dressel leading this one early. Let's go to that instant replay, Shane, and see what happened in that corner. Someone got spun around. Watch this, and then goes back into traffic. This is what I was worried about here. Oh, boom, the 4-4 car.
That's Finley Holcher, the 844.
Came out of it all right. All right, well, here is Dressel, William Holcher, and Grayson Arneson up to 3rd.
Yeah, Arneson's got his hands full right now, though. Denninger is in the mix as well as Jack Betts. As they go over that double jump in our infield, Ella Holcher is in there as well.
But Dressel and William Holcher, Dressel gets a little sideways out of that hairpin. And William Holcher closes in a tad bit as they come back towards us down the front straight. Look at this pack of cars out on the track. 21 drivers out there, Shane, and battle for the lead is heating up. Dressel and Holcher.
Yeah, William Holcher got a great run down our front straightaway able to close it down to about 1 car length as they enter that left-hand hairpin onto our infield. Further back, still a lot of shuffling going on as Arneson tried to hold off Betts and Ella Holcher.
Well, William Holcher made a big mistake there. I don't think you saw it, but he slid out and lost a ton of time. He's regained his composure, but lost a lot of time there as you see our leader Grant Dressel out front, the 36 car, pulling away in this one. So let's go through the rundown. William Holcher second, Arneson third, Raymond Denninger fourth on that lap, Jack Betts and Ella Holcher up to sixth.
Another lap in the books here in the side-by-side minis heat race. Grant Dressel, part of that Big Bone Motorsports team, trying to do what Matt Bone just did a few moments ago and take home a heat win here at the Chaos at the Creek, as we're getting a close look there at the 27 of Schultz, Mason Schultz, who pulled off pretty early in this one.
Had some issues there, and they're tending to him. But your leader, the 36 there, Grant Dressel, William Holcher actually closing in a little bit, has gained some ground after making that mistake. And Dressel going around the rockers there instead of the inside, one of the few cars to do it. But maybe in these minis, it looks like some of the other minis are doing it as well. There is William Holcher on your screen, actually closing in, Shane, a little bit on your leader, Grant Dressel.
Yeah, you talked about that different line that Dressel ran. The name of the game, especially in such a limited class as we see our white flag come out, is momentum racing. You have to put together perfect lines, not only a whole lap, but for the entire race. You have to be extremely clean and hit all your marks. So Dressel maybe has found something here in the minis that the rest of this field has not yet found.
He has. And
although William Holcher right now has the fastest lap of the race from that previous lap that they just completed there.
Yeah, and closing in as well, Shane, as they come to the double and the rocker section. It's going to be interesting if William takes a different line here and makes a move as they go over the double. Both make it clean through. Look at Dressel goes outside. William Holcher inside through those rollers.
Yeah, it looks like Holcher had the faster line there, so that outside line for Dressel maybe not paying off. Holcher very aggressive into the hairpin and washed out a little bit.
Kind of over driving into that corner, trying to make a move to the checkers. Cole has got the checkers out, and there it is. Grant Dressel, look at how close William Holcher was at the finish point. 0.08 of a second, not bad.
Raymond Denninger will cross the line in third. He started all the way back in eighth, so that was a good run for him to pick his way through traffic. Looks like Ella Holcher will be fourth, Betts will be fifth, Arneson sixth. Then Dreyer, Delory, Romanesco, and Peitel will round out the top 10.
How about it? Ashley Bone is 11th, Thibault 12th, Colin Peitel 13, Corbin Wassenberg 14, and Finley Holcher rounds out the top 15 in our side-by-side minis. Here's a Vision Wheel instant replay, Shane. No, we're not going to run that one, but there's our side-by-side minis finishing up. Here's the Vision Wheel instant replay. I believe that was the final lap here. Take me through it.
Yeah, you saw Holcher trying to stay way to the inside there over those roller jumps and was able to close the gap, but then just a little bit too much heat there into that last hairpin onto the backstretch. And that made the difference and let the number 36 of Grant Dressel get away.
Well, that'll be a fun one. We'll see 21 drivers in that main event later on this evening after our intermission. And we'll see who will bring that one home. That's going to be a fun one. Coming up next should be our Pro Mod heat races here at 141 Speedway, Maribel, Wisconsin. King of the Elements. This is round number 3 of Monster Energy King of the Elements. And we thank everybody for coming out to the Speedway here live, and to all you watching back home on our YouTube and Facebook channels. Make sure you follow our Facebook page at Side by Side Sports Racing, along with Instagram and all the social media channels there. Follow us in there. We've been posting some
including
stories
our
on
brand new Side by Side Sports YouTube channel.
Correct. Just got that up and running, and
new for this weekend.
Need to get some subscribers and followers on that. So like and subscribe our YouTube page if you could. They're towing off the 27 that you were talking about earlier today. Want to thank Yamaha and the new RMAX 1000. Some of the drivers out here tonight with the YXZ 1000. But I want to thank Yamaha for all they do. Great sponsor here at Side by Side Sports Racing.
And another great partner since day one at Side by Side Sports, Toyota. We greatly appreciate their continued support of Side by Side Sports, one of our many fine partners making it all happen here. And of course, Rival Motorsports Can-Am, and we'll see a couple of competitors representing Rival Motorsports here in this Pro Mod side-by-side heat race coming up next. And of course, from Escanaba, Michigan, race-driven Polaris KTM, one of the Upper Peninsula's best suppliers of side-by-side parts and a fervent supporter of youth racing. They support both of our youth classes here at Side by Side Sports.
Some motocross friends of mine as well. So Fox Racing Shocks, want to thank them. They're pretty much on every unit out there. Fox Racing Shocks, a great sponsor of Side by Side Sports Racing and the King of the Elements. Thank you to Fox Racing Shocks. Well, Shane, getting ready for our Pro Mod. We will be back after this with our Pro Mod side-by-side heat race. All right, we're back. Side by Side Sports Racing, King of the Elements, Shane Stetsny and Dave Derringer up here in the booth. This is our Pro Mod Heat Race. Shane, I'm looking forward to this one. 12 drivers. Jerry Smith in the 11. Kyle Cheney, your points leader, coming in here in the 91. Leland Thays in the 94. And Brian Wazak, I don't know if you were here last year. I believe you said you were. Had a massive crash here in turn number 2. And Owen Van Epperen in the number 5.
Also in the field, Brian Joski is the number 95A. Then it's Hot Rod Van Epperen in the number 45. Ben Enlow is number 95. 26 is Scotty Lawrence. 88 is Luke Stubbs. 81 is Jason Watt. And 28 is Gray Ledbetter, and we are underway here in Pro Mod Side by Side.
Wow, look at your leader go out to the wall and is going to get inside pass. Maybe not.
Man, Cheney just about forced the issue and made it 4 wide through stock car turn 2. Smith having all kinds of problems getting traction there. He is quickly shuffling back through the field. That's going to hand the lead over to Owen Van Epperen in the number 5.
Leland Thays in that second spot, trying to get around and makes the move on the inside. Nice move there. Hard to see through all that dust. It is piling up. But Owen Van Eperen, your leader, lap number 1. Rodney slipped into second. Kyle Cheney third. So some action there in the dust, Shane, that we didn't see.
Yeah, and all this dust that's starting to be created, especially with these high horsepower pro mods, is going to create some visibility problems for these drivers as well. As you can see, the cream has risen to the top here in Pro Mod side-by-side. It's Owen Van Eperen, Kyle Cheney, Rodney Van Eperen, and Scotty Lawrence running 1, 2, 3, and 4.
The who's who of side-by-side Pro Mod racing, Shane, is up front in your top 5. Owen looking for a championship tonight. Rodney just wants to bring it home for Yamaha. Kyle wants to bring it home for Can-Am. And Scotty just wants to – Scotty told me he's not in the points. He just wants to win tonight, period. That's it.
Yeah, a lot of different motivations here at our 2021 season finale. You see another stack up in the hairpin there. Again, it's Jerry Smith having some issues. Really held up Brian Wazak. So we're going to ride along with Kyle Cheney now in the number 91 Can-Am. This is another guy getting a lot of seat time this summer. He races side-by-sides all over the country, also races a Pro 4 truck as well.
He did, and he's out there tonight. There's Kyle in the in-car, like you said, and he's chasing down Owen Van Eperen in second. Kyle is so smooth and such a racer. Watch what he does. He's going to go inside here, try to push Owen. Oh, Owen makes a little too much mistake. He slides out.
Yeah, big-time mistake there from Owen Van Eperen. That's going to hand the lead over to Kyle Cheney, and those words are really bad news for the rest of the field here in Pro Mod side-by-side.
Yeah, good point. And that's exactly what I was trying to get at. That is what Kyle is so good at, putting that pressure on and forcing you into a mistake almost.
Well, Van Eperen's going to battle back, trying the inside line on exit as they go into the stock car turn 3-4 section. Not quite enough traction down there on the bottom side.
Beautiful view from our Castle X Skycam, and then you have the in-car as well.
Yeah, looking at that in-car camera, now you see no dust or very limited dust there, wreaking havoc for the 91 of Kyle Cheney.
Owen having some troubles in that first hairpin, Shane. He just can't get around that thing smoothly where Kyle is.
I expect Owen Van Eperen, he's such a student of off-road racing, though. He'll clean that up, especially as we get into our mains later on this afternoon, this evening.
Yep.
Plus, he's getting a lot of seat time as well, pulling double duty in our 2 pro classes.
Correct.
So we've reached halfway here in Pro Mod side-by-side.
Well, Cheney pulling away a little bit. Let's see if Owen can get through this hairpin here a little cleaner. There's Kyle. Owen really sliding it into that corner.
Owen Van Eperen tried almost like a Scandinavian flick, like a rally car driver would there. Turned right before he turned left to try to shift the weight of that number 5 Yamaha. I don't know that it paid off at all, but, man, Cheney is just bad fast in that number 91 Can-Am.
He looks real good. Scotty Lawrence is actually closing in on Owen Van Eperen. He's in third, trying to get up to second before this one is over.
Yeah, the lap time agrees with you as well. Lawrence just a couple ticks faster than Owen Van Eperen.
There's Owen in our camera here, our Castle X Sky Cam. He's got to get this corner dialed. Look at Scotty moving in. Oh, and Scotty's almost going to do the same thing. He just takes the slow line through there. Works better.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to slow down to go faster, especially when it's so slick on this blue groove. That was a textbook move there by Scotty Lawrence in the number 26.
So I'm watching the in-car here, Shane, and Owen is a lot more movement, I should say, than he was earlier today.
Yeah, in contrast to Johnny Holcher back in Pro Stock Heat number 1, who was very deliberate, very calm at the wheel.
Well, still going at it. Cheney, Lawrence up to second, Van Eperen third, Jason Watts having a good drive in fourth, Rodney's back to fifth, and Brian Wazak in sixth. Here is in-car with Owen and battling, got back around.
Yeah, Watt now, or excuse me.
You're right.
Yeah, that is Watt, the number 81, trying to put that move on Van Eperen. Man, Watt's having a really great drive in the second half of this heat race.
And Owen is struggling a little bit with this track,
I wonder if all the issues that Owen Van Eperen's been having have been in corners, so I'm wondering if they just missed on their tire choice.
In the hairpin corners, pretty much, too.
If that's what the issue is for Owen Van Eperen in that number 5, that's easy to clean up. Meanwhile, we've had a change for our race lead. It is now Scotty Lawrence running out front of Kyle Cheney. How about this for the Can-Ams? 1, 2, and 3 here in Pro Mod side-by-side.
Oh, boy. And Scotty told me earlier, I am only here to win. I'm not in the running for the championship. I have had some bad luck this summer, and I am only here to win, period. That is it. Done deal.
Yeah, racing elsewhere in the Midwest, Lawrence really didn't hit his stride until the final weekend just a couple weeks ago. So it's good to see him pick up that momentum a little bit. So many formidable competitors here in Pro Mod side-by-side. But Cheney not going away whatsoever.
Final lap, white flag is out, Shane, and it is Scotty Lawrence, Cheney, like you said, and Jason Watt. How about it?
Coming on strong
third,
here.
He really is. Owen is back to fourth, and Rodney's closing in on Owen in fourth and fifth there.
Just a couple corners to go for our lead pack of Can-Ams as they go back onto the back straightaway. Oh, and Watt tags the number 91 of Cheney just a little bit there. No harm, no foul. It's not going to shuffle the order, but Scotty Lawrence is going to take the heat win. Then it's Cheney and Watt. Son and father Van Epperen will round out the top 5. Looks like Luke Stubbs will be Wazak across the line in 6th.
Well, what an awesome heat race that was. Pro Mod side by side, and Scotty Lawrence coming through the pack to take the win in that one. And like I said, he told me he is here for one reason, and that is to bring it home tonight. You're halfway there, Scotty. You won the heat race in convincing fashion. Kyle Cheney, a great drive in second. How about Jason Watt? You were talking about him. A beautiful drive there in third. Owen hangs on for fourth, but it was not, he won't be happy with that one, that's for sure.
Yeah, the stopwatch doesn't agree with me talking about Jason Watt, but my eyes tell me that for sure over those last 4 or 5 laps, it was definitely Watt and that number 81 Can-Am who was the fastest out there. He picked up a ton of ground on Cheney and Lawrence. And that will be a wrap for our heat races here at Chaos at the Creek. The final rounds of the Monster Energy Side-by-Side Sports Series and the conclusion of the 2021 King of the Elements.
Let's go to the highlights of that one. And start. You guys are going at it. Cheney kind of moved in there pretty much early on in that first second corner, and then the battle ensued after that.
Yeah, there you see 91 of Cheney working on Rodney Van Epperen, who is also having some issues there. So I wonder if like I said, the Van Epperens might have just missed on tire choice here in this heat race. There's
sure
more trouble there for the 5 of Owen Van Epperen. That was the pass for the lead that put Cheney out front. And it looked at that point like it was going to be smooth sailing for the 91 of Cheney.
I thought so. I certainly did. I thought he was gone. But coming through the pack was Scotty Lawrence in the 26 car, making some moves. There's Cheney still leading. Owen missing that corner again, just over and over. Then here comes Scotty Lawrence.
Yeah, just smooth and steady there for Lawrence. Saw the opening and took advantage of that mistake by Owen Van Epperen. Then Lawrence really put it down. Made up that ground to Cheney, made the pass.
Pulled away. So Scotty Lawrence brings it home in that Pro Mod side-by-side heat race. As we're going to move into our intermission here, Shane, and have a little downtime, and then we will get into our main events. I want to thank everybody here at the Speedway for coming out tonight. And everyone online, please share the feed, the live feed on our YouTube channel. Please like, subscribe, and follow that channel. Share the feed on your Facebook. And be sure to follow us and tag us with your pictures, photos, and stories on Instagram at Side by Side Sports Racing. Dave Derringer and Shane Stetsny up here in the booth. And it's been fun so far. These main events are going to be interesting.
Yeah, what we just saw, the show that we just saw was some really tremendous racing. We saw a lot of the usual suspects finishing near the front of those heat races. And a lot of drivers, like you said, here out of the points, but definitely with something to prove here in our final round. And it all leads up to crowning those main event champions, those points champions, and our Monster Energy King of the Elements for 2021.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun one. We'll get into our main events here momentarily. Shane, we got a special guest up in the booth with us here. And our media master and promotion superstar. Come on up here, Courtney. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, Courtney Prost. What is happening? How are you doing?
I am doing great. I'm glad I made it up here.
Deep breath. Deep breath. You made it up here.
Nobody's running. Are you running?
You look like you were running up here. So as we get into our intermission, Courtney, let's talk about, anything you want to talk about. We got some great series sponsors. We got some, it's been a great year. Want to thank 141 Speedway, Lena, we were there, Eagle River back in February. What's on your plate? What do you want to talk about?
Oh my gosh, there's so much to talk about. I don't even know where to start. So, coming back from the break, we are actually going to announce our very first race of 2022. So we're going to give you guys first notice of that.
Oh,
so
cool.
I'm excited about that. We are coming back in 2022 bigger and more bold than ever before. Honestly, we have stuff planned that you can't even imagine.
Oh, nice.
And I know you have been to some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah.
But we have some things even for 2021 yet. And I know I'm being so vague on this, but we've announced some pretty cool stuff that we have coming up with like MAV TV and things that we're doing with our live stream. And I will tell you that we have even bigger things to announce still this year for 2021. I can't tell you yet because we're just finalizing these last couple days, but make sure everyone's following our social media, our Instagram and our Facebook, because we are going to tell you about them hopefully in the next week or two. And it's going to be just amazing for everybody, our fans, our racers, our partners. Everyone's going to benefit from it.
Well, I'm looking forward to hearing what you have to say. Let's go through some of our sponsors and some of the people, partners you want to talk about.
Absolutely. So we actually have representatives from 9 or 10 different companies here today that support us, which I don't even know that we've ever had that many partners join us at one single race before. So here today, I want to give a shout out. We have people here from Maxxis, Rival Motorsports Can-Am, Race Driven, VP Fuel, Castle X. Let's see, who else do we have people here from? We have Beyond Redline, Power Sports One, Victory Signs. Let's see, who else do we have? Help me out.
Is anyone from Toyota here? Monster Energy, I know they're our title sponsor.
So I'm not sure if we have anybody from Monster here. We did have somebody join us at the last race from Monster. That was kind of neat because it was actually the same representative who signed Johnny Greaves. I'm not going to date Johnny, but
years ago.
Back in the day, the same man who signed Johnny originally to Monster Energy, he was at the last race and was able to join us. So many of us got to meet him, and so that was nice. He
Cool.
gave us a lot of throwback stories about Johnny, and even Kathy there. So that was nice to be able to meet him. But just so many people that we want to thank. Laundryville Steel, they're local. Eldorado Trailer Sales, Victory Sign. Chad, we made you a little video that I'm going to come down and share with you later, and it's also going to go into the live stream. And we have a couple of funny little things for you to show you. So we made our partners some little bags that are on the tables. We want to make sure that you guys all get to see those. What else? What was going on in the racing? I didn't get to see that.
Oh, we had some awesome racing
Tell me.
all day. I mean, can't go through it all as we head into our intermission, but I do want to also shout out to Race Driven, and they gave us those sunglasses for the first 1,000 spectators that came in today. That was cool.
Yeah, I've been wearing them around, and people keep trying to steal them off my face. I was like, you should have got here earlier.
Sell them for $5.
There you go.
No, I'm kidding.
So a couple things. We have we're going to be going into the stands doing some trivia. We are going to pull a couple fans. Our beautiful trophy girls are going to pull a couple fans to do a dance-off that we're going to be doing in a little while. We have some special things just for fans in the stands. We're going to be getting into some great giveaways. We have some OGO jackets from Yamaha. We have some Castle helmets. We have some Monster Energy coolers. all kinds of really amazing prizes that we're handing out through the beginning of the night. And that's all when we come back after this break that we're going to shortly.
Very cool. It's going to be a fun night. We're going to go into intermission now, so you guys have some time to grab a bite, grab a drink, check out the bar, check out the concessions. Hey, let's talk about, well, there's two merchandise booths here. 141 Speedway has their own merchandise, and then Side by Side Sports, we have our merchandise as well.
Absolutely. So limited, this is the last of it, the 2021 Monster Energy King of the Elements. We have long sleeve t-shirts, we have short sleeve t-shirts and hoodies, and we have a limited selection of winter hats and baseball hats. Those sell out so fast every single race. So if there's any even left, I did not look as I was zooming up here, but if there's any left, I guarantee they will not be there for very long. So go ahead and grab those right away. Do not wait. We have our lovely volunteers over there selling those right by the concessions. So great food. There's cold drinks inside. And then afterwards, I want to say this now because I want to mention it. You guys keep telling everybody all night long, please, that we're going to all gather, all the racers, all the staff, Side by Side Sports, in the bar after the last race, after we crown King of the Elements. Have you guys mentioned that?
Of course.
Okay. Sorry, I said I've been going. But so crowning of the king, after that we are going to join in the bar, come and have a drink with everybody, say hello, meet our staff, if you're a fan of the racers, have them sign some autographs, get pictures with them, and just hang out. This has been an amazing season. We cannot thank everyone enough for supporting us. We made it bigger and better than ever.
You are right, Courtney. It has been a blast. We started off the Arctic Derby Dash in Eagle River back in March. The Spring National at Lena Dirt City Motorplex back in late June. I believe Shane said some of them are in the house tonight, so hello to them. And here, Chaos at the Creek at 141 Speedway, Maribel, Wisconsin. Well, thanks for coming up, Courtney. I'm really looking forward to what you are going to tell us, and you're going to tell us what before, right after intermission, before the main event start?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Let's do that.
That's what you told me.
Okay, let's do let's do that. So right before we kick off racing, right before opening ceremonies, how about we do that? We'll open up opening ceremonies with
some news.
Date drop of the first what
round,
am I saying?
The first round
of the 2022
King of the Elements.
King of the Elements.
There you go. All right. Well, we'll look forward to that. Would give us about I'd say no, not much time. We're going to have to probably wrap that pretty soon here. So get down. We're going to grab a bite to eat, something to drink real quick, Courtney, and we'll be back with that news in, I'd say, 10 minutes or so. So bear with us. We'll be back after that.
Are you tired of searching all over the internet for that perfect set of wheels for your ride? Then download the all-new Vision It app from Vision Wheels. The all-new Vision It augmented reality app lets you preview hundreds of Vision wheels on your vehicle in a matter of seconds. Just download the app, select your wheel of choice, and share photos of your vehicle via social media or email. It's the Vision It app, new from Vision Wheel.
Yeah, B-Main is right there. So go back on really fast, and I'm gonna. I feel like you really messed that up.
Introducing the evolution of pure sport performance. The new 2019 YXZ 1000R. The 5-speed YXZ-1000R and YXZ-1000R Sport Shift offer increased off-road capability and overall performance. Low-speed terrainability is enhanced with new transmission gear ratios and revised suspension settings without sacrificing the YXZ's legendary high-speed prowess. Aggressive terrain is no match for new 29-inch tires, while a rear relocated oversized radiator offers increased cabin comfort and confidence in a wide variety of terrain. And updated styling offers excellent visibility in a roomier overall cabin. To help you realize your adventure even further, the YXZ-1000R comes pre-wired for the new Yamaha Adventure Pro GPS, powered by Magellan. From open deserts and dunes to tight technical trails, no other pure sports side-by-side offers the adrenaline-inducing thrill and direct connection like the new Yamaha YXZ-1000R.
All right, Shane. Well, we actually both forgot that our B main is coming up here. Screwed that up, but it is coming up next, Shane. So we'll do our B main, then we'll get into our intermission. I don't know who jumped the gun, but either way, we're going to get into our B main here.
Hey, I'll put some positive spin on this.
Okay.
We get more racing than
there you go.
what you and I had represented. So we'll get our Sportsman side-by-side B main here coming up next. Then we get that intermission where you can go grab yourself an ice-cold beer and a hot, fresh brat clean off the grill here at 141 Speedway.
Yeah, I saw a few people in line there, and that's why I wanted to remind everyone that we do have the B main coming up. JP's in the house, hey, from VP, and giving away we're going to have some of our new your fuel cans on the podium, but we're also going to give away this new, what do you call that, a tan camo military VP can. We're going to give that away later this afternoon, this evening. So thank you, JP and VP Racing Fuels, for all you do, fueling all the cars pretty much out here on the track tonight. Shane, our B main coming out here next.
Yeah, top 5 will advance to our A main for the Sportsman side-by-sides. Ryler Hoyta and Stacy Boucher will start on the front row for this one. In row number 2, it'll be Dustin DeGrand and John Coomer. Then it'll be Carter Crook, Cody Jones, Seth Lockstein, Tyler Remride, and Caden Piontek, although I don't see Remride or Piontek out there. So looks like we'll have 7 cars battling for 5 spots. That's some high drama here at our Sportsman side-by-side B main.
Well, coming off of turn 3 and 4 is our pace car, so we're going to get going with this Sportsman B main, like you said here, and get them rocking and rolling. Then we'll get into that intermission, and then we'll get into our main events. Man, they're holding them. They're going slow. There's the green flag from Cole. They're off and running. The 96 and the 16 pushing them down the straight. Dustin DeGrand.
Yeah, DeGrand not wasting any time, getting aggressive as another car is swapping all the way to the outside, a little bit further back. I believe that was the 96 of Ryler Hoyta.
Well, as they come back towards us in the infield, that's a 16 of DeGrand leading it with the 96 Hoyta actually in second, Shane.
Whoa, the 17 Boucher stuffed the nose on that double jump.
He did. That's been tricky, and as you see, we'll see in the face of that double jump, it's getting pretty torn up. But here comes Hoyta. Oh, check that, DeGrand. Then the 57's moved in. Cody Jones, you were talking about him earlier tonight.
Yeah, Jones trying to close that gap as we see the 16 of DeGrand having all kinds of problems getting that car to rotate into that hairpin. That's going to hand this lead over to Cody Jones.
One car around in that hairpin. But
yeah, that was the 17 of Lockstein.
Gets through it all right. Here is lap number 2. DeGrand, Jones, Hoyta, Coomer up to 4th, and Carter Crook in 5th.
Yeah, that would be the final transfer spot here with Lockstein and Boucher on the outside looking in here with a couple laps in the books of this 8-lap B main. So we see a black flag coming out there for the number 19.
What happened there? Well, Jones and DeGrand still going at. Hoyta's in there as well. How about Cody Jones? Remember, didn't he have a problem earlier, right?
Yeah, he broke in the heat race.
Yes.
Broke right away, in fact. Finished dead last in his heat race. But trying to put that behind him now, and he's got the rest of the field behind him as well here in our B main. DeGrand still giving chase.
He is showing some speed there.
Hoyta now has his hands full with the charge by the 44 of Coomer, and Hoyta just went way outside, almost to the wall.
Jones looking good, but DeGrand is putting the pressure on. Here they approach the center of the track infield and the double jump. There's the double we're talking about. And through the rollers now. This is a tricky section of the track.
Yeah, it looks like all of our full-size cars are opting for that inside lane through those roller jumps. Nobody really messing around with that outside line like we saw some of the 570s and 170s try a little bit earlier.
Yeah, correct. The youth kind of tiptoeing through that outside section. All right, there is Jones still leading. Here comes to the hairpin. Goes extremely inside. Hugs that tractor tire.
Yeah, there's still some track way down on the inside that's not yet blue grooved. So no surprise that Jones has found it.
He had a good lap there, too. Pulled away a little bit from DeGrand, so we'll check the times there as they come around. Then a good battle, 3rd and 4th. Coomer and Hoyta going at it.
Yeah, Coomer got around Hoyta. It's like Coomer almost got himself into some trouble there, but able to make that save. Back up front, though, 3 laps to go here, and Cody Jones in control of this one. We're going to take a look at our vision wheel replay here. This is flying along right behind John Coomer, that number 44. You see he hooked that hole that's been developing down there, put it up on the bicycle.
He did.
Yeah, terrific job. Good reaction there by Coomer to set that car back down. Didn't even cost him a spot.
So your leader, Cody Jones, then you got DeGrand, and then Hoyta and Coomer having a pretty good battle. There they are on your screen, Shane. That battle 3rd and 4th here in our Sportsman B main. That's the one we're watching right there. Coomer and Hoyta. Look at this battle. Pretty good.
Yeah, very good battle going on there. Looks like they're kind of matching each other mistake for mistake so far.
Pretty much. So there's our Castlex Skycam over the 44 of Coomer. Hoyta close by, looking for a mistake there. Out front, Cody Jones looking real strong and pulling away from DeGrand.
Yeah, nice job by Cody Jones and the team to get that car put back together. There was some pretty severe front end damage in the steering linkage of that car after his incident back in the heat race.
We're still watching that battle. Coomer and Hoyta, 3rd and 4th. These hairpins getting tight. Hoyta trying to go inside there, Shane.
Yeah, trying to push Coomer up the racetrack a little bit as the white flag is out for our leader. Cody Jones, a good 20 car lengths ahead of Dustin DeGrand right now. That battle for 3rd, still a lot of work to be done there. So you can see both those cars just struggling to find any traction out on the oval section of the course.
Oh, Coomer goes a little outside, but not close enough is Hoyta, so probably going to bring it home as our leader out front, Cody Jones, in the 57 car there on your screen coming around the final corner, Shane, and he is going to bring home the Sportsman B main.
Yeah, good run for Cody Jones from just up the road in Green Bay. Dustin DeGrand will be 2nd. Looks like Coomer from the Sheboygan Falls area will finish in 3rd. That'll leave Hoyda in 4th, and it looks like Lockstein and the number 17X is going to round out the top 5, and that will be the field for our A-main a little bit later on. That's going to leave the number 09 of Carter Crook on the outside looking in, as well as the 17 of Stacy Boucher, who had that hard hit landing over that double jump, cased it into one of those holes that we are seeing develop on this race course. And now that will conclude our heat races for this event here at the Chaos at the Creek.
Well, I'm going to head down and do interviews with those top 3 Shanes. So right after that, we'll get into our intermission, like you said, and then we'll get into our main event. So stick with us. Got a couple commercials, and we'll head on down to our podium.
Introducing the evolution of pure sport performance. The new 2019 YXZ 1000R. The 5-speed YXZ 1000R and YXZ 1000R Sport Shift offer increased off-road capability and overall performance. Low-speed terrainability is enhanced with new transmission gear ratios and revised suspension settings without sacrificing the YXZ's legendary high-speed prowess. Aggressive terrain is no match for new 29-inch tires, while a rear relocated oversized radiator offers increased cabin comfort and confidence in a wide variety of terrain. And updated styling offers excellent visibility and a roomier overall cabin. To help you realize your adventure even further, the YXZ 1000R comes pre-wired for the new Yamaha Adventure Pro GPS, powered by Magellan. From open deserts and dunes to tight technical trails, no other pure sports side-by-side offers the adrenaline-inducing thrill and direct connection like the new Yamaha YXZ 1000R.
Side and find your drive with Race Driven. As an online retailer, dealership, and manufacturer, we can provide power sport enthusiasts with virtually any part or accessories for ATV, UTV, and motorcycles. Providing a variety of services including manufacturing, prototyping, and powder coating, Race Driven gets it all done right in Escanaba. Our highly experienced team will find you the best products to maximize your performance and keep you safe. Customer driven, quality driven, Race Driven.
with our Sportsman B main down here on the podium. Let's go through it. Ryler Hoyda, 4th place in that Sportsman B main. Congratulations with that one.
Thank you. Man, it was a good race. Track's really slick, hard to get it to turn, but I held in there and I took home 4th place, so can't complain.
All right, yeah, good finish there and in the mix. So we'll see you in that A main a little bit later. Who do you want to thank?
I got to give a huge shout out to my spotter, Lumpy. He kept me calm in there, telling me to run my race. I got to give a huge shout out to my boss, JR's Welding, helped me build this whole thing, make it happen, and M&H Service. Thank you guys.
All right, Ryler Hoyda in 4th place. Let's move over here to 3rd place. Come on over here. And it is John Coomer. The Monster Energy girls are here with us. And John, 3rd place in that one. And how's the track shaping up? Talk to me about it.
It's getting pretty slick out there. It's quite the challenge. I mean, this isn't about speed. This is about just finesse and keep her straight.
So we've seen a lot of incidents throughout the night tonight. Like you said, pretty slippery, and it's going to be a tough one tonight. So what are you seeing? Any tricks with tires? Talk to me about some of that strategy.
I got to come up with something because I'm struggling today.
All right, who's helping you out, John?
I want to thank my spotter, my wife. I got a bunch of family here. My grandma stopped out today, so that's pretty exciting. We got Purely Med Gas, B&B Off-Road, Single Finger Motorsports. They're all helping me out great this year.
All right, perfect. Congratulations on that. We'll see you in that A main. And let's move over here to our 2nd place finisher. And you're already there. Good job. It is Dustin DeGrand. And Dustin, 2nd place in that B main. How is it out there?
It's pretty slick. I mean, you're sliding all over with these dirt tires on, so it's kind of tough. You just got to take it easy and slow down in the corners a little bit.
Who do you want to thank?
My sister, it's her birthday today, so I had to do some kind of winning for her today. But B&B Off-Road Repair, Bass Reaper Baits, Power Sports 1, R&B Custom Farms, my spotter, everybody that comes out to watch, thank you.
All right, that's Dustin DeGrand in 2nd. Let's move over here to our winner. It's Cody Jones, and you had an incident earlier in the first heat race of the night, but you come back and win that B main. Pretty cool.
Yeah, I just wanted to keep the car in one piece and be patient and wait for mistakes.
So what actually happened in that heat race?
One of the guys got spun out, and I had nowhere to go, and so I went into that concrete barrier.
Yeah. Oh, I saw that. Any damage?
Steering rack.
Ooh, not good, not good. But you got it fixed up, and you're up here on the podium and the win in the Sportsman B main. Sponsors, who's helping you out?
My mom, dad, RJ Auto, Jared doing all the welding, KGB for the front clip, Power Sports 1. That's about it.
All right, Cody Jones, we'll see you in that Sportsman A main later on tonight. And let's throw it back to Shane up in the tower, and we're going to head to our intermission.
Thanks a lot, Dave. As Dave said, we will step aside for a few moments here. Give everybody a chance to get an ice-cold beer here at 141 Speedway, or maybe a fresh cheeseburger right off the grill. We'll be back in about 45 minutes for our opening ceremonies, and then it's time for our mains, Sportsman side-by-sides, 570s, Pro Stocks, Minis, Pro Mods, the side-by-side Diva race, and then we get to crown our 2021 Monster Energy King of the Elements. Plenty more racing to come here from Maribel, Wisconsin. This is Side by Side Sports. We'll be back in a few moments.